In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Kyrie Irving and some of the things that he does to get himself open shots in game. We're going to be breaking down the most recent game that he had, so let's get down, let's check him out. Okay, so in this first clip, he uses essentially a dribble handoff that turns into a screen, or at least a rescreen, and he pulls up for a jump shot. So when he gets this dribble handoff, his man goes underneath that screen, which means that you do not want to continue with your momentum in that direction. He's going to try and cut you off. You do one of two things. You either pull for a shot, or you attack back the same direction. Now, if you've got a really good center, and he can set a screen, or at least a rescreen on that side, now you've got a secondary screen and you can attack the basket. However, here, now his defender goes over top of the screen, which means that you as a player need to cut in super quickly. And when you do that, if you've got a hedging man who is not going in to contest your shot, you can pull for your shot and it should be pretty well wide open. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you use a screen and the player who's defending you goes over top, you need to cut in quick. You'll get yourself either an open lane to drive or a shot. Now up here, we see Kyrie Irving, and this is a fantastic move that you could do as well. Now, when you receive the pass either on the wing or near the corner, and you've got a player who is overplaying you on one side, you need to spin back the opposite direction, especially if it's the baseline, because you will have very few help defenders. Now, here he's able to get that shot off by making body contact. He does that by angling his body towards the defender, and then he's able to take one big step with the inside foot closest to the defender, gets his shoulder into that player, which then basically allows that defender to not be able to block your shot, and then you're able to go up for the layup. Here we see Kyrie Irving popping for a three. However, he's got a defender who's coming towards him from his right side. This is actually very important because now you can then take a shot fake or a drive fake, but you do not want to go back in the direction as to the momentum of that player is going. You want to go the opposite direction as to where that momentum is taking the defender. One dribble is all you need and a pull up, and you'll be able to hit a lot of shots. Now, when you're driving towards the rim and you've got a player who is overplaying you on one side, that is when you do not want to attack the top foot. He is basically cutting off that whole right side from Kyrie Irving, which means that Kyrie needs to attack back towards the basket on his left side. Now, when he does this, watch what he does. He does almost a Euro style step. Some players will call this a veer step, where the first step will move this defender this way, which is what we see, and then the second step right here is in front of his main defender, so that now, of course, he can get around that secondary defender, but that secondary step that he takes with his right foot right there cuts off the ability of this player to be able to block your shot or your layup. And in this case, he's able to keep it high over top of the defender for the layup. In this next clip, we have Kyrie Irving attacking the basket for a mid-range pull-up, but there's actually something very scientific that he did here. When he was attacking this defender, what did the defender do? He made a big mistake right here. His shoulders, hips, feet, and knees are all pointing towards the basket. If you want to run alongside a player that you're defending, you want to keep your hips as squared up as possible to that player. You can turn your knees as well as your feet towards the basket, but you want to keep your hips as square and your shoulders as square as possible towards your defender, because now if you turn your body totally towards the baseline and that player does a snatch back or just pops for a shot really quick, you have no ability to be able to backtrack and contest that shot. We can see that here. That defender, Brissett, did not have any chance of being able to recover. And because of that, Kyrie Irving was able to get his shot off. And again, we see the same exact thing happen yet again with the exact same player. Turns his shoulders towards the baseline, and as soon as he did that, Kyrie Irving stopped on pretty much a dime, and he was able to pull up for a shot. Now, that was a little bit better contested, but he was still able to hit it because he has that higher set point, but also he was able to stop just a bit quicker, which is why you really need to work on your stopping ability in practice. You can do that by sprinting from one sideline to the other, and when you're about 2 steps away, try to come to a bang bang, even maybe a 3-step stop if possible. Try to do it within 2 or 3 max, and at that point you should be able to work on your ability to stop like that and pull for a shot. This does take a lot of core work as well, and you really need to work on your footwork too. Here we we can actually see his footwork where he comes to a stop and it's left, right, and then he goes left one more time, technically 2-foot stop. So he goes left, right, and then he goes for a hop. And look at how balanced he really is. He's looking at the rim. He's going up for his shot. He gets his arm in line. That is such a beautiful shot. Now, this is what you would call bully ball right here. Kyrie Irving attacking the rim and then getting his shoulder in so that that defender is not able to defend him. Getting a little bit closer, what does he do? Well, he goes and does a right leg crossover, making it look like he's about to go towards that side, which then makes that defender drop his left foot and get, in this case, perfectly square. Now, this is actually a very good defensive stance. He has his shoulders over his knees, over his toes. His butt is out. But the one thing that Kyrie Irving has over top of him is his shoulders. His shoulders are much lower. And as a defender, you need to try and get your shoulders lower than the offensive player. He also goes back on his heels, which is a massive, massive mistake as a defender. And then Kyrie Irving attacks. When Kyrie Irving attacks, that's 2 dribbles. He picks up the ball on his right foot. This defender is not in position to block him. He is facing towards the baseline totally. And look what Kyrie Irving does on his first full step. He gets his shoulder in front of the left chest of that defender. When he does that, he's able to get the angle on that second step so that now his body is making contact with that defender, so that defender has no ability to go up for a blocked shot, or else it would have been a foul, especially considering Kyrie Irving is an all-star type player and the NBA refs will always protect them. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.